Orange soda. It's sweet, it's carbonated, and it's a shade of nuclear orange that should have you asking yourself, should I really be drinking this? But drink it you will. So let's take a look at all your options to help you decide which is the best. The orangiest, the soda-iest, well, that's really it. So, today, we're gonna line up the world's favorite citrusy soft drinks and crown the definitive orange soda. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other sodas you would like to hear about. Okay, here we go. Aren't you glad you clicked on this video? Orange soda is a carbonated drink with a color and flavor inspired by that most beloved citrus fruit, the orange. In it, you'll find carbonated water, sugar or high fructose corn syrup, various flavorings, and then maybe some sodium benzoate, brominated vegetable oil, glycerol ester of wood rosin, or even some sodium hexametaphosphate. Orange soda has its roots in orangeade, a beverage made with orange juice, lemon juice, sugar, and water. So it's basically a cousin of lemonade, but orangier. Homemade orangeade was popular in the 1800s, but carbonated orangeade didn't arrive at ye olde soda fountain until the late 1800s. That's when brands like Miners and Lashes started producing some of the first commercially sold orange soda fountain syrups. But those brands were nothing compared to the juggernaut that was just on the orange horizon. Which brings us to the first of the contenders for the definitive orange soda. Now, Miners and Lashes were two of the earliest known brands of soda fountain syrup, but Orange Crush was the first brand to, crush the competition. In fact, they were kind of the first brand, period. Now, there is some debate as to when exactly Orange Crush first hit the soda fountain scene, but we know the very earliest version was created by flavor inventor J.M. Thompson in the windy city of Chicago around 1906. This crush, however, wasn't carbonated. A few years later, soda pop impresario Clayton James Howell from Fort Worth, Texas, was looking for new flavors to diversify business at his Jersey Cream Company, which naturally made cream soda. When Howell tasted Thompson's formulation, he was so enamored by the awesome orange flavor that he bought the rights to it. Now, back in the day, soda syrups were frequently named after their inventors. Customers would not just order Orange Crush, they'd order Thompson's Orange Crush. So after the sale, you figure they'd be ordering Howell's Orange Crush. But that's not what happened. Why not? Because in 1911, Howell partnered up with chemist Neil C. Ward, who formulated a carbonated version of Thompson's recipe. And to give the orange flavor stability and consistency, they used orange oil crushed from the peel rather than orange juice. And so the modern version of Orange Crush burst onto the scene as Ward's Orange Crush. It was a massive hit with soda drinkers. But Orange Crush still continued to evolve over the years, eventually dropping the Wards and becoming a major heavyweight of the American soda pop pantheon. In modern times, the soda formerly known as Orange Crush now goes by Crush Orange. And there are a whole slew of other crushes, including Crush Grape, Crush Strawberry, and Crush Diet Orange. Fancy. But Crush Orange continues to be the flavor cornerstone of the brand. Orange soda lovers say that Crush is, of course, super sweet. They also say it's more aggressively orange than most other orange sodas. And that applies to both the radioactive glow of the color and the aggressively orange flavor, which connoisseurs say vibrates off the tongue, but not in a bad way, whatever that means. Fanta is a worldwide phenomenon, with versions of its flagship orange soda sold and sipped across 6 continents. That being said, it was invented by Hitler. Okay, not really. But Fanta did originally emerge in Germany during World War II, which, for obvious reasons, the country faced a trade embargo from the United States. That made it tough for Coca-Cola Deutschland to acquire all proper ingredients for Coca-Cola production. At the same time, the British maintained a naval blockade that also made it impossible to import the popular drink. So, Max Keith, the head of Coca-Cola Deutschland, who, let's be clear, was not a Nazi, used whatever ingredients were available, which were mostly leftovers from other food production. Things like residual sugar beets, surplus whey, or apple pumice, a mash of apple peels, seeds, and stems left over from apple processing. These leftovers were then used to make a carbonated Coca-Cola alternative. Yum! Anyway, when dreaming up a name for this new beverage, Keith encouraged his team to use their imagination, or Fantasie, as they say in German. One of his salesmen, Joe Knipp, pitched a shortened version of the word, Fanta, and the soda brand was born. And the makeshift drink was a hit. In 1943, 3 million cases of Fanta were sold in Germany. Not bad. Part of Fanta's popularity at the time was due to its high sugar content. Sugar was severely rationed at the time, again because war. But Fanta, due to its popularity, was able to circumvent some of the restrictions. As a result, many home cooks used the soda to add sweetness and flavor to their soups and sauces. After the war ended, Coca-Cola regained control of the Fanta production plant, including the formula and trademarks, but discontinued production in 1949. The drink we recognize today was reborn in 1955 in Naples, Italy, where a reformulation of Fanta using oranges was introduced to a thirsty, thirsty world. And from there, it took off like a turbocharged Vespa. Fanta is generally described as having a lighter carbonation and milder orange flavor than Crush, while still being incredibly sweet. It also has a slightly less intense electric orange color. Bottom line, compared to Crush, Fanta offers a softer, but still chemically tasty drinking experience. You can't have a serious list of contenders for the definitive orange soda without Jarritos Mandarin. Jarritos started in 1950 in Mexico City, where chemist and inventor Francisco El Guaro Hill used his dining room table as a workshop to invent cool drinks. As is often the case, the first attempt didn't go well, and the first thing Hill created was a coffee soda that was, unsurprisingly, a bust with both soda lovers and coffee lovers. Hey, points for trying though. Taking the note, Hill turned to fruit flavors and figured out a process to extract juice from tamarinds, a popular sweet and sour fruit that originated in Africa. He then used that extract to create the first tamarind-flavored soft drink in the world, Jarritos Tamarindo. It was muy bueno, and the drink was a hit, so Hill followed it with other flavors like lemon and fruit punch. But arguably, the best flavor was, and still is, Jarritos Mandarin. Bottles of Jarritos were originally sold with no labels, so there was nothing but the color of the soda to indicate what flavor was inside the iconic bottles. Speaking of which, Jarritos means little jugs in Spanish, referencing a Mexican tradition of storing drinks in clay pottery jugs. So when the brand eventually began to label its beverages, it used an image of 3 Jarritos. Exports to the United States began in 1988, and Jarritos is now sold in 45 countries and counting. It also remains a mainstay of Mexican culture, as well as a perennial presence at every barbecue in the Western Hemisphere. This contender is a little different from the others in that it focuses on a specific kind of orange to create its unique flavor, namely the mandarin. Anyhow, Jarritos fans describe the drink as bright and citrusy with a unique note of mandarin. And thanks to its high sugar content, it's also ultra sweet, pairing well with grilled, savory meals like El Pastor. And pro tip, if you can swing it, experts recommend getting the glass bottles rather than the cans. And now we cross back over the Atlantic to France, where you'll find chateaus, good cheese, and millions of people who talk like Inspector Clouseau.
And you, my friend, can count on me to do everything in my power to get you out of this plaza.
As some might assume. It's also where you'll find Orangina. The refreshingly fizzy drink was formulated by Spanish pharmacist Agustin Trigo Miralles as Naranjina in the early 1930s. He sold the formula to Léon Béton, a French businessman based in French Algeria in 1935. But Orangina's path to fame was hampered by the outbreak of a traumatic global conflict. Yep, it's World War II again. After the war, Léon's son, Jean-Claude, who is not Jean-Claude Van Damme, took over the reins of his father's company in 1947. Seeing the potential in Orangina, he revived the recipe and finalized the now famous spherical bottle inspired by the shape of an orange. 4 years later, he launched the brand in France. Orangina was then mostly produced in French Algeria until the Algerian War for Independence broke out. This French dude just couldn't catch a break. To keep the business going, Béton moved the operation to Marseille, France in 1962. Anyway, it turned out Marseille was in fact the place for Orangina to get its groove back. And the sparkling orange soda in the memorable glass bottle caught on with citrus soda lovers everywhere. Béton's company became the 3rd largest soda producer in the world, beaten only by Coke and Pepsi. It was so big, in fact, that European lawmakers nixed the sale of the company to Coca-Cola back in the 1980s, claiming it would violate fair competition laws. Remember fair competition laws? Yeah, the 80s truly were a different time. Long story short, Orangina was so big that the rich people who owned it ultimately had to break up the company to sell it. But Orangina remains a refreshing heavyweight in the orange pop pantheon. And so here we are. Orangina is different from the competition in that it has a whopping 12% citrus juice in its recipe, 10% from oranges and 2% from lemons, mandarins, and grapefruits. This gives Orangina a lighter, more natural taste than its competitors. But the thing that really makes it stand out is its uniquely shaped bottle. Yes, it kind of looks like an orange, but your dentist would advise you not take a bite of it. Unlike many of its predecessors, Sunkist soda was not born out of European weaponized conflict. It was born out of a marketing move by Sunkist Growers, a cooperative of California citrus growers, best known for producing fresh oranges, lemons, and other citrus fruits. In early 1978, Sunkist Growers branched out and licensed its name to the General Cinema Corporation, which conducted research into formulating a new beverage for the lucrative orange soda market. This move was generally unsurprising, as General Cinema was the leading independent bottler for PepsiCo at the time. Once the new pop was perfected, Sunkist was given a grand regional introduction in New York City.
This stuff's made in New York City?
Yes, New York City. And it was successful enough to be franchised to bottling companies nationally. The new soft drink arrived with a splashy ad campaign. It featured television and radio commercials rocking to the Beach Boys' Good Vibrations and the slogan, Fun, Sun, and Beach, which sounds like it was coined by someone trying to get out of the office early on a Friday. Nonetheless, the soda became a nationwide hit, and in 1980, Sunkist became the #1 orange soda in the US and the 10th best-selling soft drink overall. But the reason Sunkist made waves wasn't just because of the high amounts of sugar and the catchy commercials. It was because Sunkist was a little bit different.
I'm a loner, Daddy. A rebel.
Yes, Sunkist had a kick that no other orange soda on the market had at the time: caffeine. Unlike Crush or Fanta, a serving of Sunkist sports 19 milligrams of that peppy nectar of the gods. By comparison, Coca-Cola has 33 milligrams, and a shot of espresso has 63. So Sunkist doesn't have a lot of caffeine, but compared to other orange sodas, it has that rebel edge. Otherwise, connoisseurs say it's pretty similar to its competitors. So when you pick up a Sunkist, you'll get what you expect, plus a jolt of caffeine. With the century-long success of orange soda all over the world and a strong market share potential thanks to consumers seeking an alternative to cola, many soda makers have jumped on the citrus soda bandwagon. There's Slice Orange, Top Orange, Campa Orange, Royal True Orange, San Pellegrino Aranciata, Arctic Orange, Frio, Ice Peak, Solo, Mihai Orange, Shasta Orange, Fago Orange, Britvic Orange, Zamzam Orange, F&N Outrageous Orange, and Walmart's Great Value Orangette. That's a lot of orangey burps. With such a crowded market, brands try to stand out with unique differences. Some brands boast health benefits. Other companies focus on the flavor experience or the use of more natural ingredients. Still others lean on the ingredients they don't have, like sugar or artificial colors. Truly, we live in the orange soda renaissance, or orange soda-sance. Let's workshop that later. But now, it's time to crown the winner. Obviously, opinions on the best tasting orange soda can vary widely and are largely a matter of personal taste. But if you're looking for the definitive orange soda, you're looking for the beverage that is to orange soda what Coke is to colas. And so, with this gold standard in mind, there can only be one winner: Fanta. That's right, Weird History Food picked the soda that owes its existence to the Nazis. Not for that reason, of course. But its origin aside, the lighter taste and lighter carbonation, along with its extreme sweetness, has consumers all over the world reaching for those bright orange bottles and cans. And it is all over the world, thanks to the widespread production and distribution provided by its parent company, Coca-Cola. Variations of Fanta are available in over 190 countries. And that's at least part of the reason it's the only orange soda in the top 10 sodas for global market share, capturing 3.5% of the world's soda market. That's $5.6 billion in sales in 2025 alone. So there it is. Earth's definitive orange soda for the rest of time is now officially Fanta because of its taste and the fact its worldwide sales and brand recognition beat all other contenders to a pulp. So what do you think? Is Fanta truly the definitive orange soda? And if it isn't, what is? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from Weird History Food.